We have completed the series of planets through houses. We have completed all the planets till 11th house of your horoscope. Today we are going to start a new series with planet through 12th house of your horoscope. Today we are going to talk about what happens when you have Sun in the 12th house of your horoscope. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You'll be getting Vedic astrological videos just like this one, and these videos will help you grow further faster into Vedic astrological studies. If you have any question, you can comment them under the YouTube video comment section. I try to read all the comments and I try to reply to almost all the comments. You can also follow me on Instagram at Pramanik Astrology. And if you're looking for readings and consultation, check out the link into the description section. Sun in the 12th house of the horoscope. What is Sun? The first thing which comes to my mind when I think of Sun is light. Sun is light. Sun is clarity. Sun is vision, vitality, health, reliability, governance, authority, leadership, career. All these can be seen with Sun. Your father is also represented by Sun in your horoscope. Sun also represents governance, government, and the central authority figures. What is 12th house? 12th house is the house of loss. But what kind of loss? 12th house is the loss to the first house. Each house has 12th house. But today we are going to talk about the original 12th house. What do I mean by that? Each house has 12th house. Like second house is 12th to the third. Third house is 12th to the fourth. And 12th house from any house represents the loss to that house. For example, fourth house is the house of your mother. And third house is the house of your sibling. So when you have a younger sibling, there is a loss to your mother's love towards you, because now she has to give attention to the younger sibling. Okay, so all the houses have the 12th house. So 12th house of the ascendant represents the loss of all the first house things. First house is the house of your health, vitality, identity, and all the tangible physical manifestations for this lifetime. And 12th house is the house of loss to all the first house significations. 12th house is the house of loss, is the house of expense. 12th house also represents the abstract travels, longer journeys, foreign travels. 12th house represents the solitude, living in isolated places like ashrams, jails, and maybe jungle. 12th house represents the isolation. 12th house is also the house of humility, house of shyness. And if you want to know more about 12th house with respect to all other houses, I would recommend you to go and watch the Bhavat Bhavam video of the 12th house. 12th house is 11th places away from the second house. 12th house is second to the 11th house. So it is a Dhanasthan from the Labhasthan and Labhasthan from the Dhanasthan. So 12th house isn't that bad. But it is exhausting. It is tiring. And it is abstract, and so it is very difficult to understand because it is into the unknown territory. What happens when you have Sun into the 12th house of the horoscope? Sun is the planet of self, and 12th house is the house of loss. So the person with the 12th house Sun finds it difficult to find his own identity. in his birthplace. For this, he has to travel to the other country. He has to travel to the foreign lands, because the planet of identity, the planet of self, is coming into the house of foreign lands, into the house of the isolation. And 12th house is the farthest house from the first house. It may be an adjacent house to the first house, yet first house has to travel all the houses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 to reach to the 12th house. Okay, second house and 12th house are adjacent to the first house, yet it has to travel 12 places to reach to the 12th house. A person with the sun in the 12th house have to take care of their health. Why? We talked about the 12th house and how it is a loss to the health, being 12th to the first house, which is the house of vitality and the health itself. Now it has the planet which represents health and vitality, which is what? Which is sun. Sun itself is the karaka of the life, is the karaka of the soul and vitality. Now it is also coming into the 12th house of the horoscope. So these people have to be very careful with respect to their health. Okay, the planet of the stability comes into the house of expenses. What does that mean? The planet of stability. So these people might have to incur continuous expenses. They have to be very careful when it comes to the expenses. They have to really audit themselves that whether this expense is really necessary or not, and they have to avoid the unnecessary expenses, because their expenses will be stable. Okay, that means it will be continuous expenses. So the person with the 12th house sun will have to be careful with respect to the ego. They have to be humble, because now their ego will be tested. Because 12th house is the house of loss to the ego, and the planet of sun is the planet of the self-esteem. So there will be a constant battle, and this can make them shy. I have seen people with the 12th house sun to be very shy. They like to be into the isolated places, and they don't want to be partying, or they don't want to network or socialize with the people. That doesn't mean they are bad at all. It's their nature, because they have the planet of self-worth and self-esteem coming into the house of humility and the loss to the identity. So they don't know who they are until they take deep dive into the 12th house, the spirituality, meditation, and to the long distance travel. Those travels may be to the pilgrimages, but they have to find themselves through travel to the foreign lands. The planet of stability comes into the house of foreign lands and foreign things and foreign travel. So the person with the sun in the 12th house will relocate to the foreign land, will travel to the foreign land. And when he travels to the foreign land, I have seen most of the times he gets his self-esteem. He understands his self-worth. Now he feels great about it. Twelfth house is also the house of the abstract things, the things beyond this realm, things which are of the long distance travel beyond this realm. Astral journeys can also be seen with the 12th house. Now the planet of clarity comes into the house of this abstract and mysterious house. So now sun brings in his light into the 12th house of the horoscope. Now these people have the clarity about those 12th house things of mysticism, some psychic experiences. These people can see real profound dreams, because now the planet of the light and clarity is coming into the house of the abstract things, the spiritual things. So these people will have great spiritual insights, because now they have sun, the light into the 12th house. Now they are looking into the 12th house with the torch of the sun, and now they can see the things which nobody else can see. So their perspective becomes unique, because they have got that knowledge, insight from the other world, or maybe through dreams. Okay, from the 12th house, sun aspects the 6th house of the horoscope. What is 6th house? 6th house is the house of your dates, delays, enemies, routines, and pets can also be seen with the 6th house, and more of the routine regular work can be seen with the 6th house. When the planet of sun aspects the 6th house, it makes you work, it gives you happiness, and it gives you the clue about who you are when you are involved into the 6th house things, like you're helping the underprivileged people, or you are working on yourself, and then you realize who you are. So yes, this was sun in the 12th house, as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. What to watch next? Go and watch the how to get started into Vedic astrology playlist, or go and watch the rising sign or ascendant playlist, or just go to my YouTube page and explore the playlist page and start exploring the fascinating world of Vedic astrology. Sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace.